All right, everybody, what is going on? Good evening, very late evening. Usually do not post this late, but it's just a Mariners video. I'm not too concerned about it. I know that these videos do not exactly pop off, especially so far this season, so I'm not too worried about it. And I wanted to wait for this page to update with the data from today. So I've been checking it every half an hour or so, and it finally did update. So yeah, 60 games in. We are 60 games into the season. Got 102 games left. And for the first time, really all season, things actually feel pretty good. Right now, things feel pretty good with this team because they have overcome a lot to play some very good baseball over their last 10 games. And they're now in first place in the division by 2.5 games. They have a winning record. And when you take a look at what's going on within the division and you take a look at what's going on with those rosters, there is an opportunity for this Mariners team to kind of get on a run here and never look back in the AL West. Now, they may not be a great team this year, but they may not win 90 games, but they don't need to win 90 games to win this division. So things are looking a lot better right now. They just won 6 in a row. They've got a lot of games coming up against softer teams. So let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. And yeah, great 6-game stretch here. It was a season-defining, maybe even a season-saving 6-game stretch. There were some people who were wondering if that Sacramento... I know they're not the Sacramento Athletics, but the Athletic series was kind of a must-win, and they took care of their business, and then they went home and played a good Diamondbacks team, or at least a decent Diamondbacks team, and handled it. And suddenly everything just feels a little bit more normal. Like we don't have to worry so much. And it all comes back to this team did something that I didn't think they had any chance of doing. Minus two of their most important offensive players in Cal and Brandon Donovan, they have been good offensively for the last several games. They have genuinely been good offensively without, I don't want to say they're two best offensive players, but there's an argument to be made that when healthy, those are two guys you're leaning on the most heavily. Your number one power hitter, and then your leadoff guy in Donovan, who, and by the way, Donovan was playing great before he got hurt. I know that Cal was not, but we know what Cal can do when he's healthy. And somehow, some way, this team is still putting it together offensively, and almost everybody's gotten involved in that. Like, if there's anything to be unhappy with right now, probably Josh Naylor, right? Naylor hasn't necessarily showed up to the season yet. He's not playing that well at the plate, or even in the field has not been stellar. But other than that, everybody's just really doing their job right now. We sent down Rivas. Rivas is out. And ever since then, it feels like everything's just kind of starting to snap into place here. And that goes all the way down to the bottom end of the roster. Maybe like Patrick Wisdom would be the one guy that you look at and go, okay, that guy's not really doing what we were hoping, but what were we really hoping for Patrick Wisdom to do anyway? Right? Like Cole Young isn't playing great at the plate anymore, but we were never expecting him to be a great bat, especially at 22 years old. He's been more than fine. He's been still one of the best second basemen in baseball. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. And even Crawford, and I know the Crawford song and dance is getting really hard. Like twice a week, Crawford does something that makes me want him to get benched. And every time you're kind of at that point with him mentally, it feels like he does something that reminds you that we kind of need him. He's been hitting with power this year, unlike we've ever seen. Like he's on pace to hit 25 home runs this year, which we cannot afford to put on the bench. At the same time, though, we know the problems, right? And I know that's frustrating, but we're still talking about a guy who is being very valuable offensively. Randy has continued to play really well. I know he's slowing down a little bit, but he's still playing great baseball. Julio's having his best ever start at the plate of his career. And I think he's probably playing through something right now, injury-wise, too, which is part of the reason why the defense has gone to pot. So, yeah. Um, maybe Luke Raley won't slow down. I don't know what to think anymore. I kept thinking, okay, he's not going to keep up this pace forever, but he has been playing at a remarkably high level at the plate for a while now. Hanzone's been good at the plate, and I mean, it goes all the way down too, right? Like we're talking about some of the guys at the top, and the guys at the top are playing great, but Mitch Garver has been workable, right? Victor Robles, I know it's a small sample size, but he's actually been really good. Pareda has been workable at the plate, as well as being effective behind the plate. Ref Schneider might be finally figuring something out here, and I know Ref Schneider's a touchy topic these days with Mariners fans, but it does seem like there might be a lot of bad luck there right now, and we got to ride it out a little bit longer. But even he's starting to play a little bit better when we call on him, and Colt Emerson. I don't even need to say anything more than that. Colt Emerson has just been an absolute delight so far. Absolute thrill to see him get up to the show and immediately prove that he's got something, like in a way that even Jared Kelnick never did. And Kelnick had good games, but they were few and far between. Colt Emerson is doing stuff pretty much every day. So somehow, some way, this lineup has held it together without Cal and without Donovan. And I don't know how they're doing it. Excuse me. Sorry, couldn't find the pause button there. But I never would have thought in a million years they could have done this. And there have been bad games, don't get me wrong. And there have been games where the offense has cost us a win. There have been still bad moments, but like that Diamondback series, the offense was really good. Even against the Athletics, even the games where we didn't necessarily score a lot, we got runners on. We just didn't bring them home. It's not like the offense was getting completely wiped out. So we got something pretty good going on here. And if we can get even a little bit of sustain here when we get Cal back, when we get Donovan back, it's more than just a complete lineup. It is beyond that. It is legitimately a full lineup with guys that can come off the bench that you have a good amount of faith in. And maybe Colt gets sent down after we get Donovan back. I don't know. But the fact that Emerson has proven that he can hack it at this level has been huge. So yeah, I'm feeling great about this lineup right now in a way that I didn't think was even possible. Even in my most optimistic projections for this season, I didn't think that somebody like a Johnny Pareto was going to be tolerable at the plate, even over a tiny sample size. Connor Joe's not here anymore, but he was tolerable too. He actually was able to swing a half decent bat when he was here. And like if we end up needing him later, then it's not the worst thing in the world to have to call him up and lean on him a little bit. I don't want to, but could be worse. The pitching is where things get a little bit difficult to unpack here, and everybody's mind is on the whole, Castillo Miller piggyback situation where it seems like we're managing the egos of those two players more than we are trying to win games. What I will say is that the piggyback has worked very well so far this season, in that the games where we've used it, we don't give up very many runs. And even today, when Castillo gave up a couple runs when he came out there from the pen, They weren't really his fault. The defense let him down. Like, the defense gave up those runs more than anything. So on paper, it's working, but it seems like the players don't like it very much. And there's also this sense that it working well in the first 3 times we used it was kind of a fluke. And there's not a great solution here. I think the solution is to put Castillo in the pen. We could use another bullpen arm anyway, but how's he going to feel about that? Is he going to like that? I don't know. But I can't be worrying about something like that right now because bottom line is Castillo didn't pitch well to start the season. And I know he usually doesn't pitch that well to start the season, but we're talking about trying to win games here, and he was so bad for most of the early part of the season that you can't completely blame it on the weather. And I know that's always the thing with Castillo. He pitches better when it warms up, but the stuff was so bad for the first part of that season. I don't think you can work to accommodate him here. He's making a lot of money. He's got years left on his contract. I think you got to just stick him in the pen and hope it kind of extends his career out a little bit because like today, he didn't have to worry about throwing 100 pitches, so he was able to kind of unleash with the fastball a little bit, had it up to like 96. These other games where he's actually starting, it's like 93. And I just don't think that's viable. Like, the stuff is just way too hittable. So that's been kind of what everybody's mind is on right now, and I get it. Miller's off to a really good start, by the way. Definitely don't want to take away opportunities from him. But the rest of the rotation, other than Hancock has been way better than any of us could have expected. And I do think Wu is starting to get back into the swing of things. He kind of had a little bit of a lull there, but I think he's starting to figure it out. We're stuck in this weird limbo with Kirby and Gilbert where they're both okay, but we expect them to be better than okay. They're not bad enough to actually like take out of the rotation, but they are bad enough to probably make us not want to extend them past the 2020 past their current contracts. So that's a little bit of an awkward situation, and it's going to be kind of dicey here. And the reason why I say that is we don't really have a true ace pitcher. Maybe Wu will get there. I think he's the one guy. But if you need to win like a 1-game playoff or you get to a game 7 or you have a game that is absolutely must win, like the wild card winner go homes type thing, I guess you send out Wu probably, but nobody here has that stuff where you just know he's good for it. And there's an advantage there, right? There's an advantage there where everybody in this lineup feels like they can win except for maybe Castillo, but you don't have that money in the bank ace anymore. And there was a time where I thought Kirby could get there, but I don't think he's going to get there anymore. There was a time where Castillo was close to that, but he's not anymore. I don't think Hancock's stuff is good enough to be there as much as he's been very good so far. Maybe Wu. Maybe Wu. So I'm really hoping that Castillo gets put in the pen at some point. I just want I just don't want to go into every 5th or 6th game feeling like it's kind of a punt because Castillo's on the mound and I'm already worried about what's going to happen before the game even starts. And I mean, you put Castillo in the pen, now you're talking here. Now you've got a real pen. You don't even need to make a trade at the deadline here. Ferrer's been awesome, right? I've talked about him before. Criswell's been fine in his role. Bizardo, brash. Spire's back now, and he's pitching pretty well. Like, it's not the greatest bullpen in the world, but it's the only issue is Munoz. And look, Munoz has been bad so far this year. I don't doubt that at all. He's been hugely disappointing, and he's been a part of the problem. But at the same time, I'm aware of the fact that either Munoz gets it together or this team just isn't going to get to where they want to get to. I don't think you can trade for a superstar closer. I don't see that on the table. I don't see that as a possibility. And I don't think you're going to bench Munoz and let Brash close games. Munoz is going to figure it out, or you're just going to blow games in the 9th inning way too much. So it's not like there's anything we can do about that. And yeah, Things are looking good, guys. Things are looking positive right now. The vibes are very good. And I didn't think the vibes could possibly be revived during a stretch where you didn't have Cal or Donovan. All right, I'm going to go and get on out of here. Sorry for the late video, but I wanted this page to update so we could look at the actual accurate to right now numbers. See you guys later. Go Mariners. Starting a series against the Mets. Let's keep it going. And go Mariners.